power belongs to Yahweh. And Yahshua came and spake unto him, saying, all power is given unto me in heaven and in earth. And the Messiah, Yahshua, shares with us. This is highlighter. I'm continuing with this is part 3, showing the power belongs to Yahweh. I showed the constellation of Orion and the Black Widow matching, and this is part of the testimony video. That's a 5-part video, but I want to illustrate some things that I could not show in the testimony videos. I did share them in the ABQ spider videos. There's also about 5 or 6 of those. But this is at the beginning of my conversion in 1997, and I was a Tibetan Buddhist, and I want to say, not with pride, but with humility and with truth, I don't believe that any Christian, any Bible believer can convert Tibetan Buddhism to the faith. Yahweh has to do it himself. And this is what I was looking at in 1997. I was in the public library. I was using Yahoo, and this is what I found. This is called the Pillars of Heaven. And when I seen this, my mind started to turn, and I started to consider who and what made this, what is the cause of this, because Buddhism is all about cause and effect of karma. There's always an effect, there's always a cause, there's a reason for everything. So I started to look and see and consider, because from the Buddhist point of view, the source is the mind itself, which they refer to as a mother, because all the world religions point to a mother, even Buddhism. So here is the pillars of creation, and I've seen them, and I started to consider that there was a creator who made everything. This was very popular back in the days. It's still popular. This is Ego Nebula. And this is exactly what I was seeing right here, except I'm going to turn it right here, like this, sideways. Now what do you see? Our Messiah, Yahshua, gave me a gift to see, and he was leading me on from the very beginning. And this is what I've seen. 3 signs. Right here is a face, right here is a lamb, and right here is an open book. It looks like an old book that has a lock on it. So here, when people see this, they say that's Jesus. Jesus in the clouds. And that's what I've seen. And I started to believe and consider, to rethink my belief and my faith and my practice. And sure enough, many people are seeing the same thing. And so now I'm going to jump forward to the James Webb telescope. This is the new version of the Ego Nebula Pillars of Creation that James Webb had taken. Everything in creation is beautiful because Yahweh has made it. This is quite a striking image to see. You can go to NASA and download the images. They're also free to use in print if you want. So what do I see here? It's the same exact picture, except this is from James Webb. Now what do you see? I don't see Jesus in the clouds no more. Where did he go? Millions and millions of dollars in time were spent to erase the thought that possibly that refers to Jesus, who is Yahshua. Because as I said, it's hard to convert a Tibetan Buddhism to the faith, to the Abrahamic faith, to the faith in Yahweh our Creator, the faith that says that He raised His Son from the dead, and that's eternal life. You can read that in Romans 10, verse 9 and 10. So the thought of Jesus in the clouds was completely removed from this picture here. This is a spiritual war. So now the people in the future, when they search for Eagle Nebula, this is what they're going to see. If you get a Tibetan Buddhist who's been studying many years, or somebody who is in Eastern arts and sciences, Hindu or others, they're not going to see this. It's not going to enter their mind. They're just going to see this right here and keep their thoughts away from any reference to Jesus or the scriptures. But as for myself, I'm grateful and I praise our Maker that at the beginning He was leading me on to consider the things outside of me. Because in the practice of Buddhism, we are taught, that all of your resources that you need are all within you. So now I'm going to jump to 2004. In my testimony videos, I mentioned all of these things, but I'm going to show to you some things that you could not have seen. So I was a fugitive in Mexico, and in the year 2004, Yahweh was showing to me different things, and that's when I looked up into the constellation of Orion and seeing the female black widow spider. The hourglass was matching the constellation of Orion. This was at the time I was having an infestation of black widows in my house. I was killing many of them. I had a dream of one. I smashed a scorpion with my Bible under my desk. My friend John Paul, he brought to me a glass jar. Inside a glass jar, he showed to me a scorpion and a black widow fighting. And his mother had trouble with her home too, black widows. It was very common, but Yahweh had used that to open my eyes to consider things. And the point of the video is be faithful with little. It's quite fascinating, and I'm always excited to see that Yahweh has taken something, an insect that is small as my pinky, and from that of His creation has used that to open my eyes to see many different things. And I've shared this in many videos, but I won't continue. He showed me Spider-Man movie during this time. He showed me the Legend of the Jersey Devil. A man in the movie, he transformed into a spider. He showed to me the movie Dagon. I highly recommend this. This is a movie out of Spain. He shows to me this is a problem with the Roman Catholic Church. A very good visual illustration of what has happened to the Catholic Church. The devil moved in and took over. Many people have speculations and theories and understanding about what's wrong with the church, but this right here is what our Creator had shown to me to illustrate the takeover of the Roman Catholic Church. Look at the names right here. Godin and Ball. You see, when I seen the movie Chosen, I was looking at the characters' faces and their names, and that was at the very beginning. Yahweh was leading me on to see movies and see the behavior of filmmakers and the spirit that's behind it. So I was faithful with a little bit, and as I held on to it, it's been 22 years now, and He's given me experience to see, and nothing has changed. The patterns, the behavior of the spirit, and Yahweh is the one who's made it, and He's the one who's very clever. He has taken full control of His creation. Let me give you one example. When people see the movie The Masters of the Universe, they demonize it. But what they don't know, or don't receive, or don't consider, is that Yahweh has complete control over all of His creation. He alone can take darkness and turn it to light. I get my truth from the Bible, I get my truth from His Spirit, but by His Spirit He leads me to see. And in the movie, for example, The Master of the Universe, he has control of it, and He overrides all communications. The devil will speak to the people watching the film, but it's Yahweh who overrides the communications. And if He wants to communicate to you something of light and truth, He will do that. And how will He do that? By taking control of His creation. That's why He woke me up from a coma on Valentine's Day. Between me and Him and my brothers, my Netzarim brothers who I was with in Mexico, we knew and we know that Valentine's Day is a pagan holiday, but it does not matter. You see, when you take your thoughts off of evil and take your thoughts off of the darkness and put your thoughts on the Creator and His Son, He will speak to you and the light will come in. He used Valentine's to speak to me, to show to me His love, because Valentine's refers to one thing, love, and He used that to show to me His love for me. There were mariachis dancing in the hallway in the hospital on Valentine's Day, and He was celebrating and showing me His love, because He will love us. He will love you who put your trust that He raised His Son from the dead. People don't understand this who are lost, but I'm sharing to you the hope that is with us, that's available for all people. Dagon was a very powerful movie. And then Harry Potter, this all came out in 2004. Well, the Dagon was 2001, I believe, but here was 2004. The Prisoner of Azkaban has echoes of the Antichrist. And I showed you the spider in the first video, the first part, and the spider is right here in front of you. Here is an hourglass right here on the left, which is a symbol of number 8, and there's 3 heads right here, 8 and 3. This is what the world is worshiping, and some of the churches as well. And then this here, 3 and 9. 9 is actually an extra digit to hide 8 and 3, because right here is X and Y. I'll show it to you in a minute, which is the same thing as 8 and 3. Here's a poster from the movie, and here on his hand he's covering up the X, and then the 3 points here is the Y. This here is actually called the Devil's Footprint. People who are watching movies, you'll see voodoo people take the chicken foot and dip it in blood and use it for the rituals, because Lucifer operates as a triple deity, and this spirit, this anti-Messiah spirit, will grab onto anything in creation to represent. That's what they've done with the churches. So I was curious to see what's the purpose for the 9, the 3 and 9. And right here it says X and Y, 3 and 9. This past couple years I made some videos and shared them where Yahweh reveals to me the X and the Y is X is 8 and the Y has the V shape, which is, so this here is 8 and 3, and then the 3 and the 9 right here is also 8 and 3 is what they're hiding, because it's in there twice. In the future people will receive more and more complete data than what is being presented here. This is just complementary data for what is to come later, or revealed later, that's more clear. And here's the devil card number 15. It has the X and the V. Now if you look at any Panagia Virgin Mary and you look up here in the top right corner, you're going to see the two letters of Theta and Upsilon. Theta is a circle with a line through it, and it looks like the number 8, and Theta is the 8th letter in the Greek alphabet, and the Upsilon is the shape of a Y, and that there is a match to this right here. You're looking at X and V, because the Virgin Mary is trying to show herself to be the creator, and that goes with the scriptures in Isaiah 47 verse 8. She says, I am and there is no other. And take note, that's verse 8, because Yahweh is showing to me back in 2008, the number 8, or 2004 in these movies, he was trying to open my eyes to see the use of the number 8. Here it is again in the movie They Live, and I'm willing to share more on this if a person is a person of faith, and you want to see what our Creator has done, then you would show to me your interest in pursuing more of the powers of our Maker, and not the idol, but to understand what He's doing. And I'll share this 4-hour video and more data that connects with this. The problem is that there are few people who value what our Creator is doing to His servants, because it's a world of fast food. People have patience, and I know what it's like when you want a quick answer. But if a person is willing to commit and to see what our Maker is doing, I will share more. So here, the They Live movie was putting the same idol here, the X and the V. And then there's a brother in Messiah here. He shared the same thing. It's this video is on the Queen of Heaven. His channel is Babylon Watch, and I've seen a handful of videos, and Yahweh led me to see this. And when I seen that, I knew exactly what that was. I thought I've seen that before. See, I was faithful with a little bit. These are things He gave to me before, and I just held on to it. And so I mentioned it and put it in this video on the spider and the films and media. But that stuff that you're looking back here on Harry Potter, right here, I didn't realize that this here had the same. There's a spider right there, 8 and then 3. And then here on this license plate thing of the prisoner number, I didn't know that until just a few days ago. But Yahweh is very mighty, and it's His glory that uncovers the tricks of the enemy to keep us safe and to protect us, and to show to us that He is the one who's in control of time and space of all of the creation. So here is the continue the revelation for 22 years ago. He's shown to me that the world's been worshiping this idol for a long time. And here he was showing to me the number 8. He wanted me to see this right here is from Harry Potter. What I did back there in 2004, there are many people that are doing it now or have done it already. As a believer who has the Spirit of Yahweh in them, out of curiosity, they'll go to the toy department. Sometimes they'll take pictures and see all of the evil stuff on the packages and the toys and in the films, and their eyes are being opened because our Maker is opening their eyes to see. Yahshua, our Messiah, has given us gifts to see. By His Spirit, we can see. And I had done the same thing. I was looking and considering and seeing things, and He showed to me. He was showing to me the number 8. And then I seen Spider-Man 2 movie. He showed me the toy, Dr. Octavius, and I looked and considered. I was seeking these matters out with him because I was fearing Yahweh, but I was also trusting Him and being faithful with little because He was leading me on to see things. And I thought, well, that's not 4 arms, that's 8. And his name is Doc Octavius. O-C-K is for the word Oc, like octagram, which is pointing to the number 8. And take note that the Roman Empire is identified by 2 things: octave Christmas and octave Easter. This is part of the Roman Empire, to the worship of their deities and to worship of the number 8. They're called octaves. They have many of them, but when I seen that in this past year, my eyes were opened up even more and more to see how the world is dealing with the number 8. This is also something new. So this is from the movie Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe. In the Snake Eyes movie, they honor the number 8. And then later I started seeing more and more the use of the number 8 in Babylon, starting from Babylon and to the Roman Empire and all the world. This is one of the main idols of the world. So here I want to conclude on showing what Yahweh has given. I had mentioned this in a couple of videos in the past, and now I found my old files in my old hard drive. So this came later, and this is from 2007 movie of Harry Potter, and I went to the website and I started looking around, and the reason why I was looking around was because in 2004 Yahweh was showing me things through the Harry Potter movie and through other movies that I mentioned. So He's leading me on here, and I started to look and see, and this was an interactive map for Diagon Alley. That looks more like Dagon, a reference to Dagon and not Diagon. That's a fictional word, by the way. But you see, the darkness, the kingdom of darkness has one mind, but we have the mind of Messiah. So that's why they all have 666 and the color red, the vampire colors, the number 8, their words and their name Baal in their names, but Yahweh's people has His name in them as His son. So I checked out the interactive map, and here I am with a red dot. And when I got here, I stopped and I looked at this symbol right here, because I remembered I seen that symbol in a dream. Here I am in Urapan in 2004, and every week I would go to a private group of people who study UFOs, because every Christmas the UFO would come down to the mountain every year in Christmas time, and everybody, a lot of people would see that and talk about it. and they offered people $200. If you pay $200, he will teach you how to contact the aliens, and you have to say a certain word, but I forgot what the word was, but it sounds similar to the word Sham, maybe Sham, something similar to that, Sham. I can't remember the name, and I'm not interested in learning what it was, but I didn't pay the $200, but I was in the group and I was learning. And so a few days after that group meeting, I had a dream where this symbol right here was on the cover of on the back of a book cover. Somebody was laying down on a sofa and they were reading their book, and this is the symbol. And so days later, maybe weeks later, I come to the I remember that from the dream. This was in 2007 for Harry Potter, but I had the dream in Mexico of the book. But this is why I came here to see this, because you always lead me through it. And I kept going, and here's the hand pointing to it. It was only because of that dream, and you always lead me, that I decided to take a look and see. And so now I'm right here. I'm still going, and I'm fixing to enter in the room right here. It's the glory and the power of Yahweh is doing this, not the devil. So don't think that I'm going to glorify the enemy, but Yahweh has done this. Now I'm going to show you what's inside this room. I'm in Dagon Alley, which I believe is pointing to Dagon, which is all Baal worship. Eventually, those who Yahweh wants to see will come to know that and see it. This is what we're up against. So here are the two spiders I had mentioned in the past videos. Right here. I knew they were black widows because they have a little red dot. Even though it's on the back, it still is communicating to me black widows. And this is during the time of the infestation in my home with black widows. And as I'm doing this video, I still have female spiders laying eggs in my body. They're not black widows, they're scabies. Because Yahweh is the one who's doing it, not the devil. So here he shows to me the black widows on the door. There's two of them, and I held on to that thought 22 years ago. And so those who have seen some of the data and heard some of the testimonies will understand what Yahweh has done to show to me this the double spider. So he showed me the hourglass, the number 8, and then here you can see the spider 2 times, according to what I showed in my first video, the first part 1 of showing Yahweh's power, the by 2s, because right here is 2 of them. There are 8 green blocks, and there is a chevron right there, a perfect match to the spider that Yahweh gave to me. And then here on the right is 8 more green blocks, and what's on the top right here? Another chevron. These are 2 of them, a perfect match to the spiders that Yahweh gave. And is sharing His glory. And the only way this happened was by the resurrection of His Son. This is His power, resurrection power, that shows to us that He is in control. It shows to us His love and long suffering and patience with us. 22 years has passed. And recently, the past few years, about 2 or 3 years ago, I seen the spider, and I was considering and speaking to Yahweh, seeking his counsel, asking him, doesn't the constellation of Orion have two triangles touching together? And he shows to me that yes, they do. The constellation of Orion, the hourglass, has two triangles, and that's when he showed to me a real female black widow spider that has only the chevron on it, which matches here, and you'll see it in the first video, part 1. And here they are right here. I put these together to make it clear. Yahweh has power over all of his creation, and this is what you're looking at right there. John 19:11. They threatened Jesus, Yahshua. They said, we have power to kill you, to crucify you. And he told them, no, you do not. The only power that you have is the power given to you from above. And this is why we are safe. We might experience some pain and discomfort, but we don't need to fear that, because the pain and suffering is only temporary. Yahweh's not going to hurt us and torture us. I've had these spiders in here for quite a while, but it's not it's not too much that I can bear, because there's a lot of testimonies that's coming out of this. How the doctors are treating me, where I'm living at, how I'm treated. The spirit is not people, but it's a spirit at work that's fighting against this work. The testimonies are unbelievable. My cup is overflowing because of the power of our Messiah and what he's doing. So when we suffer, his glory will be revealed, and I'm excited about the whole thing. So here's two spiders right there. Here's two more. It's a spirit, not a person. And this is how the world does it. And then before I got scabies, I was putting together a theater, as you see right here on the left. I put a mask on during the winter time, and then on the right is Andrew Tate. And so Yahweh was showing to me alignment, and he's speaking to me at this time that after I got off drugs and after I got off of alcohol and smoking cigarettes and got cleaned up, and I feared him and trust him, and he delivered me out of my troubles. He wanted to make sure and to show to me that I see that he is the one who is doing these things, that he shows to me that I am in alignment with him, and that's what he wants from us, to be in alignment with him, with his thoughts and his purpose and his plans. Because when we start doing his works, whatever we believe he's leading us to do, that's where we have eternal life. Eternal life is given to those who are doing the works and the will of our Maker and his plans, not those who are doing the works of the flesh and the plans of the enemy and our own pleasure. So this is his love towards us, that he would communicate and to teach us these things. And then I also, in my testimony, in one of my videos, I put the Spider-Man backpack on here. He instructed me to do it, and I was obedient to do it. And then a couple years later, I seen a trailer with Spider-Man Reborn, I think it was, or Spider-Man Animated, and he's flying around in his bathrobe, and he's got a baby Spider-Man with him. And this is the glory of Yahweh and his love towards us, that he would show it to me, being faithful with a little bit so that I would see his glory later. Yahweh spoken once, twice have I heard this, that power belongs to Elohim. I want you to build up your faith, build up your strength in him and his works, because that's what we need right now, is to be strong in the works that he does. I hope this will encourage you and bless you. And remember, to those who do not believe, that Yahweh has gifts for all of us, and that whoever calls upon the name of Yahweh shall be saved. And his name is Yahweh of armies, and his name, he placed it in his son Yahshua, and there is power in his name. King David says, in the name of Yahweh I will destroy them for a big purpose. My brothers and sisters, when they look at the name of Yahweh and meditate on that name, they will see that the earth truly is his footstool. That's his glory that's waiting for the future for those to see. May this bless you and strengthen you. Shalom to you.